Well, cool, man. It's great to meet you. I want to begin our conversation. We're coming up on the 4-year anniversary of the pandemic. How did you get through the pandemic, and how did it change you?
Yeah, I mean, so I'm actually a career changer. So I mean, I've seen a lot of different things through the pandemic in terms of just kind of the way that people acted before, acted during, and kind of acted afterwards, meaning behaviorally, right? And so whether it be with kids or teenagers, adults, there's a lot more mental health concerns today, right? And so we're seeing a lot of different types of concerns in the workplace right now. And did you know that only about 5% of people use the actual EAP system in the workplace? Right.
Wow.
So which that's telling regardless of pandemic or not pandemic, but that's incredible stat. So what does that mean for us, right, in the workplace, and then how do we build around that in order to kind of get the culture where we need it to be, right? So
Wow, that's wild. So let's get to the heart and soul of what you do for a living. I'm going to
yeah,
put you in front of a bunch of third graders. It's career day. And one of the
yeah.
kids says, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" How do you answer that child?
Yeah. So, you know what? I guess I would say that we help businesses scale and grow, just like when you're in a sports team and you go and as you're growing and growing and maturing, you're practicing, you're implementing tools, you're implementing systems, you're implementing whether it be your ladders that you're doing at age 5, whether it be practicing with your receiver if you're a quarterback or whatever the case may be. We're implementing tools and new skills and strategies in order for you to kind of scale up and be the athlete you want to be. And the same with business, right?
So
So,
what did you want to be in the third grade?
in third grade, to be really honest with you, in third grade, well, just to give you a little story, I was born in a different country, right? So when my parents came here when I was about a year old or so, I was not worried about what I was going to be in third grade. I was more worried about, listen, how do I fit in,
Yeah.
right? Like, I don't even know English, by the way. Like, and when we came to the United States, right, we're in a community where we're only speaking Romanian. And so
Yeah.
I went many, many years without speaking English because I was growing up not in Romania, but in a Romanian community. Right.
Yeah.
And so I was more worried about what color clothes or
Yeah.
trying to get Jordans or
Uh-huh.
whatever.
Yeah.
Right. More
Yeah.
survival than anything, you know?
Yeah, that makes total sense. So how did the seeds become who you are today to help people and to be in a profession of helping others grow and giving of yourself?
Yeah, good question. So, you know what, through you hear a lot of people say, my upbringing kind of shaped who I was today, and so on and so forth. And honestly, there's a lot of truth to that in terms of how I operate today. Because of all of the struggles that growing up in terms of what my family had to go through. And look, somebody else had it worse than me, right? But in terms of just being relative to this conversation, right? All the struggles that I had to see, witness, and endure in terms of comparing our family to other families and where we were at in life, and so as moving forward, I was just I take today as an adult, I really consciously remind myself about those experiences and really try not to take myself so serious,
Yeah,
right? And try not to take life as serious as people do sometimes because as we know, you wake up tomorrow and you're 70 years old,
yeah,
right? That's how
true.
fast it goes by, right?
Yeah,
So,
for sure. So in your life of all of this work of helping people, who's been inspirational? Who's been a hero for you?
yeah, I mean, there's been, I won't, to be honest with you, I'm not going to name somebody famous or who's written 100 books or this or that, right? To me, I've had several mentors throughout my life and my journey. And honestly, what I've done, to be really honest with you, what I've done is I've kind of kept pick and chose family dynamics or different the way parents operate or a dad operates or a coach operates, and I kind of just have taken all of that, and you grow up and you kind of then get married possibly and form your own leadership style or in your own home with your wife or husband or whatever it may be. And so I've kind of just taken bits and pieces of all of the people that I've been surrounded with, but that so it's not necessarily one person, but I will say that I've I've tried to surround myself with like-minded folks in terms of me trying to progress and move forward in life. So,
So, if there's one person on the planet that you admire, that you're fascinated by, that you can meet and talk to, who would that be?
uh, probably, um, Cat Williams.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I've been watching a few interviews with Cat Williams, and he is an interesting person.
Yeah,
I just love his interviews, and regardless if you like him or not as a person or a comedian or whatever, but his life story is incredible, and just to hear what he's gone through and what he's kind of putting out today and where he's come to life in terms of accomplishments and where I'm not even talking about money, I'm just talking about survival skills and stuff like that. He is an interesting person. Just for the purpose of this interview, that name comes to my mind immediately. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and
So,
I'm not even a huge comedian fan, right?
yeah,
Like
right.
I
It's just, yeah, he's an interesting guy for sure.
yeah.
So, what is the motivation for you every day to wake up to do what you do, to do the work, to help people, to evolve as a person? How does that work for you?
Yeah. So first and foremost, the reason why I'm able to do it, in my opinion, is that I first and foremost start with a balance of my life here in my own home. Right. And so what I mean by that is, my marriage, my kids. Don't get me wrong, not everything's perfect over here. That's not what I'm saying. But to have a balance in life in terms of those main categories really helps me stay balanced and continue to be passionate about helping others. And I've always been in the helping field, right, and the supporting field. And so I think all of us help and support each other in some way or somehow, it's to some capacity. But I mean, for me, my passion to remind myself that if I see something that's really triggering and touching me on a home base with others, that really helps to remind myself where I came from, and how and really diving into empathy, really, and
Yeah.
really feeling what you're feeling in terms of pain points. So,
What's the best advice you've ever gotten?
trust is what's the quote? Trust is quickly burned, but slowly built, something along those
Yeah.
lines. Yeah. So it's more of a quote than I guess it is advice. But
Yeah.
if you really think about that, gosh, right? Like, I mean, trust is broken in one act, one saying, one email, one text, right? It can be.
Yeah.
But in terms of building it, wow, that takes quite some time sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
all that effort could be gone just like that, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. You look back on your life coming to America and having to acclimate and get your feet planted. If you had a dream tonight, ran into the 18-year-old version of you, and you could give that version of you a piece of advice based on the life you've led, the wisdom you gained, what advice would you give that young self?
Yeah. I mean, I think and I don't mean to revert to the same answer that I think I mentioned before, but honestly, don't take life too serious. Don't take yourself too serious. I think we get caught up. I just think we get caught up in our day-to-day operation, to a degree that it's so intense sometimes that we forget to actually pause, enjoy what's around us, observe, use our eyes, use our ears, use our active listening skills, and really enjoy what we have going on around us or the people around us. And so for me, it was just, I was such a survival, go mood, go, all the time, go getter, this, that, not really pausing in life and being like, hey man, just relax, right?
Yeah,
Like, look where you came from and look what you like, just take a look around because things could be a lot worse.
for sure. So, of all the things that you've done, accomplished, and overcome and become in your life, what are you the proudest of?
You know what? I have accomplished a few things, whether it be writing a book, whether it be jobs, this, that, but honestly, all of those are just things. And to be really honest with you, the best accomplishment, the most accomplishment that I'm most proud of right now is to that I'm the husband and the father that I set out to be. I have room for growth. of course, right? But I am the father and the husband that I set out to be, and I am very, very proud of that. And how do I know that? Well, I mean, I have a teenager at 14 to I have 4 kids all the way to down to 7 years old, my baby girl Olivia, right? And so I think we're doing something right with our 14-year-old, at least. I'm just picking on him because he's a teenager, right, in high school, but him wanting to tell us things and have conversation on that 30-minute car ride to school is kudos to us in some way somehow as parents, because talking to your teenager is not easy, right?
Yeah, for
So
sure. For sure. So, Sebastian, everyone has a perception of you, family, friends, clients, colleagues, but you
yeah.
run the show. What is your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
You know what? I'm a integrity is somewhere at the top of the list for me. I'm always talking to my kids about do what you say you're going to do. And that comes in with trust and stuff like that. But integrity is at the top of my list. Working smart is at the top of my list. And being a family man is at the top of my list. So if something, God forbid, something were to happen to me tomorrow, those are the three things that I think people would really say about me.
So, if anyone wants to delve into your world, hire you, learn more
Yeah.
about what you're doing, where's the best place to go?
Yeah, so you can visit the intentioncollective.co on the website. You can email me at Sebastian at intentioncollective.co. We have a ton of offerings on our website from just really quickly from scaling small businesses with an operating system to coaching to leadership cohorts to workshops, which include like the Working Genius assessment and several other assessments. And so we're always doing workshops or conferences or are willing to come in and help your business grow on with operating system. So
Excellent. Sebastian, this has been wonderful. Thank you, man. I appreciate your time, appreciate your story. Best of luck with everything.
yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for having
Cool.
me.
Thank you, sir. Take care.